Welcome back to Week 3 Sunday Night Football. I am your host, Bobby Stanley, also known as PropHolliday on social media. Rocking with the guys over at JD and the GoldBoys, bringing you our Sunday Night Football preview. Now, normally my opening monologue is something well-prepared and well-versed. I just want to do some 1 p.m. recap because we had some pretty decent performances. Highlights for me, Vikings 3-0. Sam Darnold is your MVP of the season if it ended today. No, not comeback player of the year. We're going right to MVP for Sam Darnold. Seriously, though, they look that good. I have a buddy of mine who's a degenerate gambler. He just grabbed the Minnesota Vikings at 55-1 to win the Super Bowl. If you are going to bet something like that, bet it twice so you get the cash out and then you can ride one. But Vikings look good. They completely shut down the Houston Texans offense. I think they did it without rookie edge rusher Dallas Turner. Sam Darnold looks every bit the part, and this is awesome to see. I hope it keeps rolling this way. Other big performances, Malik Neighbors, rookie wide receiver for the Giants, goes for 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper goes for 2 touchdowns. Giants pick up their first win of the day. Deshaun Watson, it's so ugly. He's overthrowing passes. Not fun to watch. Dallas Goedert, career day, 170 yards receiving. Extremely impressive from them. And if anyone tailed me and JD's touchdown collab, we both put together a 4-leg touchdown parlay going into the Sunday slate. It was pretty chalky, but we really just want to get out of there with a win. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, DK Metcalf, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those 4 over on Bet365 is plus 1560. I knew some people put it on FanDuel, threw their 50% odds boost on there. It was a nice payday, so we are coming out profitable from the 1 p.m. games. If you see me looking to the left, it's because I want to make sure Jordan Whittington is getting his receptions. He's sitting at 2, and we laddered all the way up over in the Prop Shop Discord. So if I jump, Jordan Whittington did something for the Rams, even though they're getting their ass kicked. Let's talk about tonight's game. Falcons getting 3 at home, total sitting at 46.5, playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Cousin looked every bit of the part, I would say, on Monday Night Football against the Eagles. I'm still a little skeptical. I kind of view that more as an Eagles loss, some really questionable coaching decisions from Sirianni there, more than a Falcons win. But the Falcons pick up the win on Monday Night Football, head back home. Chiefs coming off a win, I feel like they shouldn't have had either. There was questionable pass interference call, or at least it just feels like it at this point when it's Patrick Mahomes. It's late in the game. The Bengals gave them every bit of run for their money. They get out of there with a field goal and a win. But I'm expecting more of a letdown from Atlanta, who's still a new team. How do they feel coming off a high of that versus Kansas City, where they're even keeled the whole season? So I'm going to lay the 3 with the Chiefs. Love that we're getting 46.5. Should indicate some type of scoring. No Pacheco for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is down. Carson Steele, who seems to be a fan favorite, steps in. Samaje Perine going to be a bit of a third down back. A lot of sharp guys are on his receiving tonight. I like that angle. Not one of my official plays, but something to add if you're doing the same game parlay or an odds boost. Perine should be in the passing game. Do we finally get a Travis Kelce sighting? It's been 2 weeks. I see him everywhere else except on the football field. Not much from him yet, but maybe he steps up tonight in prime time. So my lean is Kansas City minus the 3 on the road. Let's get into the official plays. I love Rashee Rice tonight. Over 75.5 receiving yards. Shop this around. You can play it up to 77.5. I feel pretty comfortable about. He's the clear-cut wide receiver 1 over in Kansas City. That's no question. It's an offense that just lost its number 2 option in Pacheco, if you want to make that case. Rice has seen 9 targets resulting in 103 yards in the first week against Baltimore. 7 targets, 75 yards in game 2. I think this is a better matchup for him than Cincinnati was last week. The line appears high, but if you look at Atlanta, it makes a lot more sense. Now, the Falcons run zone defense at a top 5 rate through 2 weeks, despite being ranked 30th in defensive success rate, 30th in completion rate, and 23rd in first down plus touchdown rate, all in zone defense. So they run it a lot. They're not very good at it. Give me Rashee Rice. He has the 3rd best fantasy points per route run against zone defenses. So I like him tonight. It makes more sense, even though Pacheco's out. Maybe they go a little more up-tempo, a little pass-heavy. He's averaging 14.8 yards per reception on the season. Those are elite-level numbers. He's making a bit of a jump. You do that in prime time if people start talking about you like they do the big dogs of the world. Kelce, shell of himself. Give me Rashee Rice over the 75.5 receiving yards. If you're building out some same-game parlays, put him at 75. If you're getting a little bit risky, I wouldn't be shocked if he had a 100-yard game tonight. I'm doing 1 unit at the 75.5 receiving. I'm putting some of my bets in over on Bet365. if you're a new user, if you have not signed up for Bet365, they have two awesome options. Go for the first bet safety net up to $1,000, or bet $5 and instantly get $150 in bonus bets. Choice is always yours. Decide which deal works best for you. Click the link in the episode description. You must be 21 plus, 18 plus in Kentucky. Gambling problem, call 1-800. Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. I always say this, guys, so if you've been watching, if you don't have the book and you have a big parlay at the end and you need a hedge, save that $1,000 bonus bet because it could end up paying out big for you. But that's if you're not currently signed up for Bet365 in any of those states. Let's go to my next play. I got one on the offensive side of the ball for the Chiefs. I got an offensive side of the ball for the Atlanta Falcons. And it's the guy that we have not seen much. Everyone's waiting for him to break out. Everybody's waiting for him to break out for the last 3 years. Kyle Pitts, over 40.5 receiving yards. I should have jumped on this last night at 38.5 when I was sitting in the office. I didn't. It's going in the right direction. I still like it at 40.5. The Chiefs have a clear weakness on defense. You can make the case it's because they lost L'Jarius Sneed. They lost a couple of those pieces. The Chiefs have allowed 276 rushing yards to the tight end position through 2 games. That's 100 more than any other team in the NFL. The last 2 tight ends they faced went for a minimum of 90 plus. That is Isaiah Likely on opening night. Remember his big night. And then Gesicki last week, I think, goes for 91. So if Pitts in the slot in this role is really going to jump out, it's going to now is the night. We're getting it at 40.5. His line, I think through the first 2 weeks was like 34.5, 35.5. This is a clear indication a lot of people are over on Pitts, but I like it for him. The Chiefs are allowing the most targets, the most receptions, the most receiving yards to tight ends targeted in the slot this season. That is all Kyle Pitts' alley. Pitts runs the 6th most routes from the slot amongst tight ends in 2024, according to PFF. Is it too obvious? I don't know, but I'll go down swinging on Kyle Pitts finally having a big game. 50 plus sounds like a fun alt line. 75 if you're up big and you're feeling froggy, but bring that unit size down. I'm on Kyle Pitts for 1 unit over 40.5 receiving yards. Could finally be the breakout game. The reason that everyone is here is the touchdown liquor cabinet. And I'm going to start cracking a bottle of whiskey or something while I'm doing these. But we got the top shelf. This is your 1 unit, 0.75. Mid shelf, your half a unit plays. Well Vodka gets Well Vodka prices. What's a Well Vodka price? That's your bonus bets. That's your no sweats. That's your $5, $10, depending on what your unit size is. But my number one, my top guy, talked about him already. It's Rashee Rice, plus 120. 1 touchdown last week. Falcons, like I said, very interesting stat. 23rd in first down plus touchdown rate. That's 37%. While Rice is the 3rd best fantasy points per route run against zone coverage. I like Rice tonight. We're getting plus 120. I do think it's a little bit more up-tempo. They don't have that run game of a Pacheco. Their receiving back is Samaje Perine. Does he outsnap Carson Steele tonight? I don't know, but I know Rashee Rice should be in for a big night tonight. Plus 120, shop that one around, but anything less than plus 120, stay away. You might be able to get some plus 125s, plus 130s out there on Rice. Kyle Pitts in my mid-shelf. Instead of just throwing shit at the wall and going this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, I like the matchups I like, and I feel like I'm getting decent odds here. 2-1 on Pitts to score. He did score in week 1, laid an egg. I'm still getting 2-1. Pitts is my mid-shelf. Bring that unit size down. My Well Vodka is a fun one. We didn't really get the plus 700, plus 800 guys. If you want to go Juju Smith-Schuster, be my guest. I'd be shocked if McCole Hardman saw some snaps, but he's a guy I have an eye on. And then Sky Moore, not for me at this point. All the other odds seem pretty crazy. But Pat Mahomes at plus 375. No Pacheco. We're in prime time. If they're running more Perine, it's going to look like more of a spread out passing offense. Maybe that's when Mahomes tucks it and runs. I'm getting 4-1 over on Bet3, nearly 4-1 on Bet365. You could probably get better odds over on FanDuel, but Mahomes is my Well Vodka. I really like him tonight at plus 375. I think I went $15. $15 is like 0.3 units, so a little bit more than a quarter unit for me on Mahomes. I think he gets one in there. So recap, Well Vodka, Patrick Mahomes, Kyle Pitts, and my mid-shelf at 2-1, and Rashee Rice is my favorite touchdown scorer tonight. I'm not laying minus 125 on Bijan. I got burned on it last week. It did not come to fruition, which means tonight it's going to happen. So if you're throwing a same game parlay, maybe you go Bijan. 2 plays, Kyle Pitts, 1 unit, over 40.5 receiving yards. I still like it at the 40.5, even though it's been climbing. He has the matchup to break out. And Rashee Rice, over 75.5 receiving yards. I'm praying he doesn't lay an egg, but everything lines up for him. These are 2 great matchups for this wide receiver 1 and this tight end 1, and probably laying the 3 with the Chiefs. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you caught the JD PropHolliday first collab of the season touchdown parlay. 4 legs, all chalk, almost 16-1, depending what book you're on. We're going to run that back next week. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be back here tomorrow, Monday Night Football. We got a doubleheader. We're going to have fun with the touchdown liquor cabinet. We're going to have fun, maybe throw a 2-leg parlay out there for the 2 Monday Night Football games. But I'll see you tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern. Thank you for tuning in, and best of luck.